Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE past paper of chemistry, that is paper 1, and component is 0620/11. It's May June 2025, and hopefully inshallah we are going to learn to differentiate between the false answers and the correct one after watching this episode. So here we start. Alright, which process happens when water vapor changes to rain? Okay, students, whenever water vapor changes to rain, water vapors are initially in the gaseous phase, whereas rain is definitely in the liquid state. So we have to learn the option that is from gas to liquid. It's always condensation. So whenever water vapor changes to rain, the process is condensation, and the droplets are basically condensing to rain droplets. Question number 2. The diagram shows the arrangement of particles in 3 different states of matter. So over here, initially we must look at what is state number 1. This is liquid because it has disordered molecules. State 2 is gas, and state 3 is solid. So whichever describes the change in energy of particles in particle motion for the given state of matter. State change in number 1, 2 and 3. So initially in number 1 state we have a liquid, then it is changing to gas, and gas is changing back to solid. So if we look in option number 3, particular change in state will be from solid, then liquid, and then to gas. So it is option number C, that is solid, that is in third place. So 3 to 1, that is basically it's solid to liquid, that is melting. Alright, energy of particle will definitely increase, and motion of particle will also increase when you change something from solid to a liquid. Question number 3. An atom of element Q contains 19 electrons, 19 protons and 20 neutrons. What is Q? So you have to identify what is the element Q. So it's very easy. You just look at the proton number, because proton number is the identification feature for any element. So proton number of potassium is 19. So the symbol is K, 19 and 39. So potassium is the required element. Question number 4. Which part of an atom has relative mass of 1 and relative charge of 0? Which part of an atom has relative mass of 1 and charge of 0? Electron has a charge -1. Mass is 1/1836 times to that of a proton. So this wouldn't be the option. It's 1836 times to that of the proton. Neutron has a charge of 0 and mass of 1. So here's the answer. So the answer is option D. Question number 5. Which rule identifies the number of electron, neutron and proton in a particle which is an isotope of boron, mass number 11 and proton number 5? So it's a little bit tricky question. You would say I am writing symbol for boron, that is the bigger number is always atomic mass, or it is the neutron number in O-levels chemistry. It's represented as nucleon number. And nucleon number is the sum of proton and neutrons. That is simple. In the simple terms we name it as atomic mass. Okay, and 5 is its proton number, that is the number of proton and electrons in the atom of an element. So over here, first of all, we have to look at the proton number. Proton number will be 5. Electrons will be similar because it is isotope of an element. So proton and electrons are always similar in a neutral atom. Okay, so protons are 5, electrons are also 5, and B option is also close, 5 and then 5. So they're talking about isotope. So if we look at the normal state, in this normal state, students, as you see over here, boron is 11 and 5. So how do you find a neutron number? It is 11 minus 5. The answer is 6. So in this particular atom that is listed over here for the boron particular isotope, the neutron number will be 5, but they are talking about isotope. So when they are talking about isotope, the neutron number will be different, because isotopes are the atoms of element that have same atomic number but different mass number, or that have same electrons and protons but different neutrons. So over here, due to this information, option A will be correct, because it has 5 electrons, 5 protons and 5 neutrons, because this particular atom A will be the isotope of atom B. Question number 6. Which statements about potassium iodide are correct? It is formed from potassium ions and iodide cations. Potassium anions and iodide cations. That's the tricky part. Potassium is always positive, so potassium cations and iodide anions. So the option is totally wrong. Number 2, it is good electrical conductor when molten or in aqueous solution. Yes, potassium iodide is an ionic compound and it is good electrical conductor, or you would say it acts as an electrolyte in molten and aqueous form. So this option is correct. Potassium atoms have shared electrons with iodide atoms. If you know OS chemistry best, you know this thing that all ionic compounds have ionic bonds, and ionic bonds have transfer of electrons, not sharing. So this option is also wrong. So only 2 is correct. So A, B, C and D is correct, and the other options are incorrect. Next question. Question number 8. Which substance has a giant covalent structure at room temperature and pressure? It's a very common question. We know this thing that diamond is a giant covalent substance. So it's very easy. And again, it's knowledge based question, that is AO1. Assessment objective 1 of CI. Question number 9. Which row shows the correct formula for named substance? Cobalt chloride Cu2Cl. Now this is wrong, because over here it is written cobalt 2 chloride. That means cobalt will have a +2 charge and chlorine always have a -1 charge. So cross it, so it will become COCl2 and it's Cu2Cl. So it's wrong. Option B, sodium carbonate Na2CO3. Yes, it's correct, because sodium is +1 and carbonate is -2, so -2 and then +1. Cross it, so 2 will come over here and 1 will go over there, so it's fine, it's correct. Xenon is a noble gas, it never makes a molecule, so that's wrong. And ammonium sulfate NH4SO4, no, because ammonium sulfate, ammonium has a +1 charge, it's radical, and sulfate has -2 charge, so it will be cross multiplied to give you NH4 bracket 2SO4, ammonium sulfate. So the correct option will be B, sodium carbonate. Alright, our last question for this episode. Question number 10. The equation shows the thermal decomposition of magnesium carbonate. MR is given. Magnesium carbonate is 84 gram per mole. Which mass of magnesium oxide is formed when 21.0 grams of magnesium carbonate is completely decomposed? So first of all, you have to, the first option, whenever something is given to you, it's simple mass to mass relationship between magnesium carbonate and magnesium oxide. So first of all, you have to start with the known substance, that is 21 gram of magnesium carbonate. Make an arrow from here and then you have to go towards magnesium oxide. So drop it at this side. We have 21.0 grams of magnesium carbonate. Take out its mole by dividing it with its MR. Number of moles is equal to mass upon MR, that is 84. So the answer that is coming is 0.25. So first step is to calculate the number of moles of the given mass. Then second step is to apply mole ratio, that is 1:1 in this question. So similar moles for magnesium oxide 0.25, multiply it with its MR, because number of moles into MR is equal to mass, so it is 40 grams per mole, and the answer that is coming is 10.0. So I hope today's episode will be beneficial for you. We have solved May-June 2025 IGCSE version 1 of chemistry. Thank you.